To die, she hugged him at the airport. She smiled with tears in her eyes. She never knew that some promises survive forever, even when the person doesn't. The last letter of love. The cold winter wind moved through the streets of New York. Cars passed, people hurried to work, and life continued normally. But for Emma Carter, time felt different. She sat beside a cafe window, holding a cup of coffee while staring at her phone. No messages, no calls, only silence. She looked outside and whispered, "You said you'd call today, Ethan." Ethan Walker wasn't only the man she loved. He was an American soldier. A man who loved his country with all his heart. And maybe that was exactly why Emma loved him so deeply. 3 years earlier, Emma met Ethan in a bookstore. She was standing on a small ladder trying to reach a book on the top shelf. Suddenly, a hand reached above her and grabbed it. Emma turned around. A tall soldier in uniform smiled at her. "Looking for this?" Emma crossed her arms. "I could have taken it myself." Ethan laughed. "Really?" Because gravity looked like it was winning. Emma tried not to smile. She failed. That small meeting turned into coffee. Coffee turned into long walks. Walks became late-night conversations, and little by little, they fell in love. Ethan wasn't like other people. Whenever Emma asked, "What's your biggest dream?" he always answered, "To come back home alive." Emma hated hearing those words because reality was painful. Soldiers leave, and sometimes they never return. Months later, Ethan received deployment orders, another mission, another battlefield, and another goodbye. At the airport, Emma held his hand tightly. Tears filled her eyes. "Do you really have to go?" Ethan gently touched her face. "If everyone stays back, who's going to protect home?" Emma looked down. "And who protects me?" Ethan looked at her quietly. Then he kissed her forehead. "You protect me by waiting." Emma hugged him tightly. "Promise me you'll come back." Ethan smiled. "I promise." Then he walked away. Emma watched him disappear beyond the gates. For some reason, her heart suddenly felt heavy. Days passed. Weeks passed. Months passed. So at first, Ethan called regularly. "Emma? Ethan, I only have 2 minutes. 2 minutes is enough. I miss you. I miss you more." Those short conversations became Emma's happiness. But slowly, the calls became fewer. The war became more dangerous. News channels showed explosions and destruction every day. Emma sat in front of the television with fear growing inside her. Every soldier she saw reminded her of Ethan. Every breaking news alert made her heart stop. One rainy evening, Emma suddenly received a text from Ethan. "I'm sorry." Only 2 words, nothing else. Emma immediately called him. No answer. Again, no answer. Again. Still, nothing. That night she couldn't sleep. 3 days later, someone knocked on her door. Emma walked slowly toward it. Outside stood 2 military officers. Immediately her hands started shaking. "No, please no." One officer spoke softly. "Miss Emma Carter?" Emma's eyes filled with tears. "No." "We're sorry." Emma felt her world stop. Captain Ethan Walker was killed during combat operations. Everything around her suddenly became silent. No sound, no thoughts, only pain. A week later, Emma attended Ethan's funeral. Rain fell heavily. People stood silently with umbrellas. Flags moved in the cold wind. Emma stood beside his grave without speaking. After everyone left, a military officer walked toward her. He handed her a letter. "Captain Walker wanted you to have this." Emma slowly opened it. Her hands trembled. "Dear Emma, if you're reading this, then I probably broke my promise. I'm sorry. You always hated when I said my dream was coming home alive. But I lied, because my real dream wasn't coming home. It was you. Emma's tears fell onto the paper. Every battlefield I entered, I carried your photo. Every terrifying night I survived because I wanted to see you again. I wanted to marry you. I wanted a future with you. I wanted everything. But life writes different stories. If I don't return, don't stop smiling. And whenever you look at the stars, remember, somewhere among them, I'm still watching you forever. Yours, Ethan, years later. Emma still visited his grave every year. She brought white flowers and sat beside him quietly. One evening she looked up at the stars. Tears rolled down her face as she smiled softly. You broke your promise, soldier. She touched the cold stone. But I still kept mine. I waited. The wind moved around her gently. And for one small moment, it felt like Ethan had come home again.